award-winning movie Flow has had its event screenings in Queensland, Australia this weekend. Today is the Saturday with its only event screening at 11 AM. I'm actually surprised on how well this sold out. Like, there was virtually barely any seats left in the session I saw, and it was the only session for Saturday. It was of all ages, from children to like 70, 80-year-olds. I personally didn't know what I was expecting to see when I sat in to watch Flow. All I know is whatever little snippets were shared at the Oscars this year, as well as one of the filmmakers sharing their Oscar with a computer-generated image that they had created with the cat Flo. Or at least I believe that's the cat's name. I think this story is a lot different. From my perspective, recently Southeast Queensland and Northern New South Wales just went through Cyclone Alfred, which then in turn brought in floodwaters and damages from a cyclone. Watching this after going through that is kind of put into perspective in the whole spiel that Australia has, where it's if it's flooded, forget it. And it's a story of a cat that gets caught in floodwaters. Cats notoriously stay away from water, so what does a cat do when it's stuck in floodwaters? It tries to find safety, but it struggles. It finds safety in a boat that ends up filled with various animals, from dogs to ringtailed lemurs, is it? Someone said a chupacabra. I'm not entirely sure what those animals are, I really apologize. As well as a bird. These little animals would normally not interact with each other, whether they'll be in the wildlife or domesticated. I mean, except for the cats and dogs, because most people do have domesticated pets in that sense. But watching these characters go through this journey of being stuck in floodwaters, finding their element of how they interact with each other via their own social cues that an animal has, via their own language that an animal has. There is beauty in this. It is definitely not what you kind of expect. And I say that in the fact that I went in knowing that there was no dialogue. I went in knowing that this is just a visual aid. I knew that. But I think in the sense that the storytelling allows itself to unfold in the most naturalistic way possible. In such wonder and beauty, like I said, with these animals who would probably never interact with each other in domesticated or wildlife situations, but being put in the same circumstances, in floodwaters, being fought out of their animal, what's the word I'm looking for? Animal system, being loners, trying to find a way for safety. It's a beautiful movie, and the storytelling elements are there, and I can see why it won an Oscar. It's really funny because there was little kids in the session, hearing their little commentary and seeing them like get excited or get really sad at like various moments. I think this is also an important film, again relating to Cyclone Alfred Australia recently went through, is that it's teaching these little children who watch this film, if it's flooded, forget it. Showing the aftermath of a flood, whether it be the trees falling down, boats getting stuck, wherever. It teaches these little kids to stay away from high waters that you can't see below. It may look cute, but in reality it's probably not. I can see why this won an Oscar. It is incredibly cute. It's a nice little journey. It's very colourful, very vivid with its imagination. But Flow is quite good. Sorry, I'm like, hold on, words, what are words? But I know I'm actually surprised, like I said, how full this was. I was surprised on various ages. I didn't go in expecting a sold out crowd. I didn't go in expecting a lot of people to see this. I know that sounds really mean, but in Australia, up until the Oscars, I had not heard a peep about Flow. I didn't know what this movie was. I didn't know anything about it. But to see that we came out and supported this film, we're pretty cool. It deserves to be seen. And I know it comes out on March the 20th, so what is it? In 5 days' time. I recommend that you give it a chance. May just surprise you.